Hi, Jonathan Shard here for Seconds Out, joined today by Johnny Nelson. How are we doing, John?
I'm doing well. The show's over, new season started. Manchester, as usual, gives us a good night of boxing.
Yep.
We've had draws, we've had cuts, we've had crybabies, and we've had smashing knockouts.
Yep. So what more could we ask for, I suppose?
What more can we ask for? I don't know what it is in Manchester, but for some reason people seem to give us exactly what we want.
Yeah, and just before we come on camera now, you mentioned to me, I think Anthony Joshua looked very impressive. I mean, the fella that he's fighting next obviously won a unanimous decision against, how would you pronounce his name, Irick tonight. So obviously, you know, just based on that, he's a slightly better opponent. But, you know, really, when are we going to see Anthony tested? Because he looks so smooth in there.
The thing is, he has been tested each fight, and each fight he makes each fight look easier. And so people are saying he's not being tested. There's nothing more he can do. We saw that with David Price when he put him in with Tony Thompson. We thought he's ready now. He just pushed a little bit too far, too fast for him. I actually thought, you know what? Before the fight, it's a mad shout for David Price. David Price, you know, his promoter thought he was ready for it. They're doing the right thing with Anthony Joshua, and I can remember Angelo Dundee saying about Ali when Ali was being brought through. He said, it's not just about the fighter, it's about the matchmaking. Matchmaking is as important as a fighter's performance, because you've got to test a fighter. If someone's coming to him, putting him under pressure, someone's making him box, someone's mauling him, someone's nasty, someone's awkward, southpaw orthodoxes, and that way you get experience, good and bad. When you get experience, you get wisdom. So when you're at world title level, that wisdom is everything that keeps you as a world champion. Yeah,
and can I ask for, obviously the main event tonight, Scott Quigg, the fight everyone's clamouring for now, obviously, Quigg Frampton. Can I ask you to put yourself out there and give us a prediction if that fight materialises?
I'll put myself out there, and the problem is this: let's not let the politics of this game ruin this game. Now, for both fighters, Quigg and Frampton, the word was, when we wanted them to box before, they said they both got to get a world title. Now they've both got a world title. Let's not start moving the goalposts. Let's not start saying you don't fill arenas or you don't do this, that, and the other. They're both world champions. There's no reason why this fight shouldn't happen next. So I think the fighters want it. It's the politics. Now we have put it out there to get these two fighters on set, on ringside. If we get them on ringside and you hear it out of the horse's mouth that they want this fight next, then it puts pressure under the managers, under the promoters. This fight can be done. Let's not get greedy.
I mean, but both men obviously have reiterated that they do want the fight quite explicitly.
Who's the problem?
True. There's obviously other elements in the equation, isn't there? But both men obviously want the fight.
That's what I'm saying, but that's what kills this sport. You know, we were talking about Manny Pacquiao and Floyd Mayweather. The politics, the jungle of the politics of boxing is what kills boxing. It's a people's sport. You hear the crowd cheering him when he talks about that's the next fight. It's a people's sport. Don't take it away from the people.
Yeah, the people talk. It's true. I wanted to ask, so can you neatly swerve that question, Johnny? like a punch back in your heyday, you neatly swerve that one. So I'm not going to put you on the spot then and ask you for a prediction before the fight is actually made. And obviously, I'm going to end up and just ask you a quick question about yourself. Obviously, big news recently that you are potentially considering a comeback should that one fight versus Marco Huck be made. Now, obviously, Coogan and IFL TV, they did this kind of social media experiment recently with your former stablemate, Ryan Rhodes. I'm not suggesting by any stretch of the imagination that this is something similar, because he seems very genuine. Can you just confirm for us that this is something you're seriously considering?
This is for real. I wouldn't joke about this. I've got a great job at Sky. It's not about the dough. So we can wipe that straight out of the equation. I saw Marco Huck. I think he's done very well to stage champion in Germany. I saw him and I thought, I can beat this kid. If it was anybody else, I wouldn't be opening my big mouth. So I really believe that I could beat Marco Huck. Don't think I'm going to go in the ring and try and box like I'm 25 years old, because I can't. That's not going to happen. It's impossible for it to happen. So I'd have to change the style. With Marco Huck, I said I would fight for this fight only, not to come back as a career as a fighter, because I'm too old for that.
So it literally would be one fight, even if you got the itch,
even if I knocked him out
of this world
in the first minute of the first round. That's me done.
Right.
I do not want to be a fighter again, because it takes you too long to get it out of your system again. So if I'm in my head saying one fight only, it's one fight only, and that's how I'm operating.
But what's led to this itch after so many years?
The itch has always been there. The itch has always been there for any fighter, and you know, I can laugh and joke about it, because I think to myself, If it happens, it happens.
Yeah.
I'll put it out there. Now, Marco Huck's one under pressure. He's the champion. He's got an old 47-year-old man saying, I'll have this son, you give me 6 months, we can do this. It makes no difference to me.
And have you heard any word back from their camp at all yet?
We're in talks next week, so we'll find out.
Crikey, so it is actually progressing. And obviously, you know, presumably, I'm just putting 2 and 2 together here, this would be Eddie Hearn, Matchroom Sky, if it were to materialise, obviously initial stages.
I'll tell you what I want. I want the fight to be in Germany. I'd want it to be in Germany.
Right.
I'd want it to be for the title.
Yeah.
I'd want it to give me 6 months. That's all I want.
This is massive, because obviously, you know, over the past 10 years or so, and numerous years as now a pundit, you're very popular amongst the British boxing public. I can see thousands of Brits going over there for this one, because this would be epic.
Listen, I've had friends concerned saying, Johnny, what about your health? You're too small, whatever. I get that, I understand that. If I'm in the gym training, 2 months down the line, I know physically I cannot do this. This fight will not happen.
Right.
It won't happen. I'm not going to embarrass myself and get in the ring.
Yeah.
And not be able to perform. So if I don't think I can perform, it won't happen.
Yeah.
So that's why I say, give me 6 months, let me get myself ready. We'll know in 2
Yeah, yeah.
if it's going to happen or not.
Is that obviously if body permitting as well, if nothing breaks down?
If the body permits,
Yeah,
I'll know after 2 months. I'll know if the legs are there, I'll know if the time is there. I know now.
Yeah,
I know
yeah.
what I'm doing. We're just going to ramp it up again.
Yeah, yeah.
And so if that happens, that happens. This is in their hands.
So you already in Winkerbank now doing a little bit? Or do you generally do it anyway, just ticking over?
I don't do a Ricky Hatton. I've always trained. I take care of myself.
Yeah.
You know, which is, I don't mind people saying you're 47 years old, because listen, put it this way, the worst thing that can happen, I lose.
Yeah.
But I put up a hell of a fight. The best thing that can happen is, can you imagine this story? Johnny Nelson retired as world champion 10 years ago, came back, won the title off a guy that was trying to break his record 10 years after that. Can you imagine the story?
It's ridiculous. That's why I think thousands of Brits would get behind you, obviously.
It's a great
story. Out there, it is a great story. And just to end up very quickly then, so the Ingles as well, you know, where you trained, do they fancy the fight? You've obviously must have discussed it in length.
I made phone calls with certain people before I even came public with this to say, what do you think? I want honest opinions. And I've had honest opinions from friends, from family, from trainers. Someone said, don't do it, you've got no reason to do it. Someone said, you're going to get hurt, you're too slow.
But by the actual man in your corner, is he saying, let's do it?
He said, let's do it.
Right.
And like I've just said to you, he said, Johnny, we'll know after 2 months if you're right and I'm right.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's what's important.
I want it to happen. I want you to prevail, obviously. Johnny, it's been a pleasure, mate. Always is.
No problem.
Thank you. Thanks, Johnny.
No
Always
problem.
a pleasure.
It's all right.
Oh, brilliant.
Sweet. If that happens, Johnny, that'll be